Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.
Matt Justice here for Tackle Trading to bring another edition of the stock market recap report that we do at Tackle Trading every day after the market closes. The market had a little bit of an up and down day today, a little choppy action in the market. Volume in the S&P 500 was right about average, I would say. This morning it started off a little bit on a positive note this morning. As you can see, just kind of looking at the data here, right here in the morning, right when the market kind of opens up, it shoots down, but then kind of faded right back up and then came right back down. So choppy action today. What led that choppy action was really kind of manufacturing data. ISM manufacturing came out today at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can see that right here, 8 o'clock in the morning. Came in at a little bit above what the expectation was at 51.9. It came in at 52.8. Obviously, that's a boost to the economy, and it kind of started moving back up. But then concerns started happening, worry a little bit started happening regarding, what the Fed is going to do with the interest rates. And then you start seeing, okay, is data getting good enough for them to raise rates? Is it not? And then you start having people come out and say, the Fed raising rates in a market that is declining, in terms of a economy that is declining. And so there's a lot of what if scenarios, and everybody has an opinion to it. It's kind of hard to trust anybody's opinion out there because a lot of it is self-motivated and whatnot. Not here at Tackle Trading. I still maintain that they're going to raise rates. Most likely scenario is a September hike, and what you're seeing out there with a lot of the speeches, with a lot of the information, with a lot of the opinion out there is just people posturing to a certain extent. And so a little bit of a choppy action, not a whole lot in terms of price movement in the market. The market ended up being up about a couple points, 4 or 5 points from the open, it seems fine. And if you want to look at the exact numbers, just switch that over to the spiders, and you'll switch that to a daily chart here, and you'll see that the market went up about 43 cents, or literally kind of a break-even day, to be perfectly honest with you, as we've seen in the marketplace. And that was kind of expected. I talked about that in the market prep video for this week coming up. Expect some choppy action, but ultimately for it really not to do much of all, much anything at all, until we see some greater economic reports coming out of the U.S. later on this week. And if you want to look at some of the other reports that just came out today, personal spending was down a little bit. The core PC price index was down. Both of them had misses. The manufacturing data was an increase over last month. But later on this week, you get factory orders tomorrow. You got another FOMC speech. Richard Fisher gave one today. Brainard given one tomorrow, and then you start the unemployment kind of with the ADP non-farm employment change on Wednesday, trade balance on Wednesday, non-manufacturing on Wednesday, crude inventories on Wednesday, another Fed speech, Evans coming out on Wednesday as well. And then on Friday, you got a really big day, OPEC meetings all day, the unemployment rate coming out, and then Fed member William Dudley from New York, central bank chairperson or president, he's giving a speech. So look for a lot of speeches this week from the Fed. A lot of, well, we think this, we think that, and they're not going to sound concise. That's not how the Fed does it. The Fed really kind of focuses on throwing different versions of plans out there to kind of test out the marketplace. And so we got a busy economic week, a lot of speeches this week in the market. I expect choppy action, a little bit of what we refer to as the whipsaw effect, where we see a lot of up and down in any given one day. So that's kind of what we saw today. That's what I expect coming out later on this week. Other things in the news today, it's really starting to look like Greece is starting to abandon their plans to, basically, hold a tight ship, not do anything in terms of the austerity programs, but it looks like they're starting to give in a little bit to the European Union, and they're looking to make some modifications to their spending programs and specifically their pension models and whatnot to see if they can start paying back their creditors. And so it's a positive step if the positive step includes some degree of deal being established that Greece will pay their creditors. But even despite that deal we saw today, the euro specifically did not have that good of a day. I am still short euro, and I'll be short euro as long as it stays underneath the 110 level. But despite all of that coming out, this is when the manufacturing report came out. You saw a big movement there, and then it just kind of faded throughout the rest day. But I still maintain that 110 level on the euro, very, very important level. Crude oil today, kind of just hanging out, very similar to the rest of the market, kind of just hanging out here in terms of the marketplace, really kind of just no movement whatsoever. Love naked puts on crude oil. Gold today spiked on the manufacturing report, came right back down, as you can see right there. The spike coming in at right when the manufacturing report comes out, fades throughout the rest of the day. And then a couple stocks in the news here. One of the stocks that was in the news that many people are probably not familiar of is this it is a healthcare stock. It's a pharmaceutical company, and they got some really good news today in terms of cancer drug makers and whatnot. IMGN looks like it surged more than 70% today when they presented positive data at a conference today. And I'm looking at this here, and downtrend, but it spikes today, and a nice 71.94% movement. But what is kind of impressive more than anything is you started slowing down towards the end of the day, but it actually ended up towards the high. So that's impressive, and it's a stock to maybe keep your eye on a little bit over the course of the next couple days. Outside of that, until tomorrow, check everything we do over there at tackletrading.com. This is Matt Justice, Coach of Tackle, and I'm signing off.